What's up? Happy Friday. Oh my God. So, when we were young, and maybe it's still in our adulthood, that there were people who give us hard time. And when they give us a hard time, we just hope that one day we'll get our chance to give them a hard time. Whether it's to say, I told you so, or to, chant like, ha ha, you got in trouble, things like that. Childish things. And even as adults, we are childish. Back in, I want to say second, maybe third grade, something had happened that, of course, kids are kids. So at one point, this happened. This had to have happened when I was in third grade. It had to be. I don't know. And I can't remember if this happened during the summer or over the weekend. I can't remember. All I do remember is that it was windy and it was slightly chilly for a summer day. I don't know. I don't know much of the details. But on this particular day, I remember being so, like, not disappointed. It was just like, seriously? Like, really? Really? Like, when someone makes a plan and they tell you what the plan is, and like, okay, cool. And you're ready to follow through with that plan. And then all of a sudden, the person that made the plan goes, oh, change of plans. We're not going to do it. And yet, you're all ready to go. You practically have everything ready to go for it. You're like, so you mean to tell me I took time out of my day, this and that, just for this plan not to be fulfilled? You lost me. Why didn't you tell me ahead of time? So I remember my mother had plans for myself, my brother, for us to have a little luncheon on the balcony. Now, she was cooking the soup and everything, and then all of a sudden, I'm literally like onto the balcony, and my mom's like, what are you doing? And I said, didn't you say that we were going to have lunch on the balcony? She goes, oh yeah, but I changed my mind, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, seriously? Like, she goes, yeah, I changed my mind. And I said, well, I'm going to eat on the balcony. I was already on the balcony. I'm like, you know what? Someone's got to fulfill whatever plan we got to do. So I'm like eating there. I'm like, freaking serious? Like, are you serious? Like, the whole time just fuming at my mom. Like, really, mom? Like, didn't you always tell me if you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't be this and that. The way at that moment in time, like, I was in third grade. I was a kid. I was like 8 years old. I'm like, seriously, I'm like, you know what? F this crap. I'm going to eat inside. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. So I was eating my soup and everything, and all of a sudden, there was this pounding on the door, like literally pounding, like, duh, duh, duh. Like, and it was frantic too, like, duh, 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 like frantic. So my mom's like going, oh my God, like, who's hitting the door like that? So she goes, she checks the peephole, and she opens the door. And it's a woman that I know, that I recognize right off the bat. And she's the mother of a classmate I used to have. And this classmate's name was Jordan. And she happened to have lived in the same building as us, in the same apartment building. I can't remember what building, what floor she lived in. Whatever floor she lived in, she lived on, because the apartment was like the apartment building was like a tower almost. And it was in a square almost. So each, like, if you were to go up the elevator, go onto a floor, it was like in a square design, like four corners, four sides. And I believe there was only 8 apartments. So if you went on the 3rd floor, it will go 31, 32, 33, etc. And then if you went on 4th floor, 41, 42, you know, etc., etc. Again, I do not know what floor this woman was, but she either lived on like the 1st or 2nd corner. She lived on that corner because our balcony where we lived in apartment 37. And the balcony was on this side. So we were overlooking like where the school was, because my school was like literally like a mile down the sidewalk, like at walking distance, easy walking distance. And our side would overlook the other apartment next door to us, the other apartment complex. And the other apartment complex had a nice bike rack. Ours didn't have a bike rack. And if it did, it wasn't nice. These people had nice ones. And it had turned out that she couldn't find her son. That she had got a call from someone. Someone warned her that her son was doing something he should not be doing. So she rushes into our apartment, and they're talking in Spanish. My mother and his mom are talking in Spanish, you know, donde es hijo, you know, like frantic, like, oh my God, like, you know, where's my son, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, my mom's speaking in Spanish, you know, going, ¿qué pasa, you know, ¿qué es eso, qué pasa? And this woman is literally goes straight, like this woman, I have never seen this woman in my house. I have never invited her son into my house. They've never been into my house, period. She is like literally like almost like my mom, like now, like how can I explain? Like she didn't pay any attention to my mom. She just said my hijo, my son. Goes past my mom. My mom's saying, "¿Qué pasa?" And obviously, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because, like, she makes a beeline towards our balcony. So she makes a beeline towards our balcony, and then there's another woman with her. And I think the woman was explaining to my mother what was going on. I don't know. All I do know is that she was close behind the guy's mother. So she rushes onto the balcony. My mother's like going like, what the heck is going on? You know, what are you doing in my apartment? I did not invite you in. You're not telling me what's going on. You know, who the heck are you coming to my house like that? So she rushes to the balcony. You know, my mom's following the lady to the balcony, like going like, what is going on? Turns out her son and another kid are at the next apartment complex. Mind you, her son is literally on top of the bike rack. Now, I go to take a look at what's going on because I'm like wondering what the heck's happening. You know, I'm thinking like, is there a fire or something? Is there some kind of emergency? Her son is on top of the bike rack with the stick, hitting the bike rack. Ton. There's another kid. Now, mind you, both of these kids are wearing helmets, like bike helmets. And you can... And his mother screams, "Que eso!" Is literally screaming from the balcony down below. I'm watching the whole thing. So she's screaming, "Que eso que tú haces?" The kid that was at the bottom of the bike rack, you know, he wasn't on top. He was still at the bottom. Was using a stick to hit the bike rack, the pole. Takes one look and then runs, takes his bike and runs. Her son, who's still on top of the bike rack, goes like, like his life had flashed before his eyes. Like he was like, oh crap, I'm dead. He climbs down the bike rack, takes his bike and takes off running. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Dónde esto? Where are you going? She then, as quickly as she came, she quickly gets out the house. The woman that she was with follows close behind her. My mom shuts the door. Now, this is funny because as this is happening, I'm going, Jordan's getting in trouble. Jordan's getting in trouble. And mind you, I'm eating the soup. Jordan's getting in trouble. Jordan's getting in trouble. Like the typical, like, little kid, like, ha ha, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. That's what it was. Jordan's getting in trouble. Jordan's getting in trouble. And like my mom leaves and stuff like that, and then as the situation, calmed down a bit and everything. My mom turns to me like, you don't do that. You don't say that. I'm like, well, he got in trouble and he does it to me all the time, so I get to do it to him. And my mom's like, oh, he does it to you? I'm like, yeah, whenever I get in trouble with, whatever teacher I had, he will do it. And she goes, okay, that's fine. Because she always told me if they do it to you, you have the right to do it back to them, Little, like, again, little kid stuff. And as you get older, you kind of realize, okay, if I do this, this is going to make me look bad. But then again, I'm not going to have this behavior continue to happen to me, this and that. But yeah, that's what happened. I mean, I don't know if he got a whooping. All I know is I'm pretty sure he never did it again. It was just funny. What are you going to do? I think by like fourth or fifth grade, you kind of realize, yeah, you can't be doing that crap. But yeah, that was funny. Jordan got in trouble.